Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be reviewing some of the opinions of the streamers for Season 6, the new wipe, solo self-found, no market mode, new gear changes, PvE mode. Overall, we will be getting some first impressions from the streamers to see what they think of the game. Starting with the fattest man on the planet, PARTYCHIP. Yo, Chip, it's just business, dog. It's just business. You picking up what I'm putting down?
So listen, I explain this. The last two wipes have kind of felt like filler episodes, but like, and they were adding content, learning continuous dungeon and stuff like that, obviously. But like, at the same time though, it was like mostly like filler. Like, it was like nothing really new, but it was like, you know, the gameplay loop changed a little bit. And this wipe, they like refined everything. Like everything's refined. It's all coming together. You know, they're not doing it. Nothing's broken. Starter wipe. The starter wipe is playable. Basically, no sorcerer, just nuking everyone on wipe. And I think it's really fun right now to just grind the game. Just normal style. The gear is interesting for sure. I need to see the thought process behind that. But I mean, I'm liking it. I don't really care. I haven't noticed a big difference in like the fights with like gear diff or anything, but that's also because it's the first day. Once people start lab crafting gear sets, I think that's when it's gonna get pretty interesting though.
Damn, how refreshing is it to have a positive take on the game? All the takes that I have are gonna be all negative and freaking doomerish, but you know, it's good to start off with a note like that. I mean, a lot of the other streamers that we have, I mean, they have some, some things to say, but he brings up a good point. I mean, the game is nice and polished at the beginning. I mean, usually when they start a wipe, it's like, it's shit. This time, I mean, it seems like they've, learned their lesson. Everything's nice and fresh. Everything's feeling pretty good. At the same time, guys, they didn't do much. They didn't add much to the game. I mean, there's a PvE mode, but there's not really that much new content. And, like, the new content that they added was changing up, like, the stats, gear changes. They reintroduced plus all on all pieces of gear, move speed on all pieces of gear. Like, I mean, did they not think ahead and understand what will happen once the market does open? Let's just go ahead and get into the next streamer here. Now, this one is a controversial guy, okay? Because I know a lot of people in the Dark and Darker community sometimes hate on this person. I personally... Hot take. Now look, probably gonna get some pretty crazy comments for this, but I like this guy. I genuinely do. I have nothing against him. I think he's very knowledgeable on the game, regardless of what you think of this person. I think he knows what he's talking about, and if you stick around at a stream long enough, he'll kind of grow on you. So whatever you have against anybody, take in consideration his opinion. He actually has some pretty good things to say.
First impressions on wipe. Self-found mode is good, and I think it's kind of saving the wipe. However, the moment self-found mode ends and marketplace becomes open, if they haven't changed any of the gear or anything, the game is going to be incredibly unplayable.
He's right. And RMT is going to be the craziest it has ever been this wipe. Just because of how the gear is. Like, people on the higher tier, man, they're going to be running, like, all attributes, all true damage, plus 10, plus 14. Like, move speed on all pieces of gear, 330 MS, freaking PDR fighters. Like, I don't understand how they don't think ahead of this. Or maybe they have. Maybe they're going to revert the gear change as soon as, the market comes back. We'll see.
With the changes to uniques, the gear disparity between uniques and everything else is just going to be like a chasm. It's going to be absolutely disgusting. And I don't know if they know that or not. And I don't know if they like consciously made some of these decisions, but fire SDF.
Damn, just like that, fire SDF. Holy press.
I mean, like, bro, you could in theory get 12 all on 3 pieces, or you can get up to plus 21 true damage. I mean, like, I don't know what to say about that, Like, that speaks for itself. Like, 21 true damage. Right now, it's not that bad because you can't, like, tailor-make builds that easily because you have to farm all the gear yourself, but the moment you can actually buy it, it's gonna be disgusting. So having movement speed on every piece of gear just seems, like, insane to me. Like, that just seems crazy work. I feel like SDF always does these changes where, like, they're like, okay, guys, new wipe. We've got to, like, switch it up. We've got to, like, change something. And so they just throw some, like, crazy things out that, like, are never going to work. And then we just kind of have to deal with it for the next, like, however long until they, like, get their shit together. They always get gear to where it's like, okay, it's starting to feel pretty good. Like, you're getting everything pretty close. Like, there are still some issues you need to fine-tune. And then they just blow it out of the water with some crazy stuff. And it's like, why? Like, for what? Who asked for this, bro? Not me. Not most people.
Well, perhaps that's the vision that SDF is trying to aim for. I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, what it looks like it is if you're adding 21 true damage to the game and all attributes and boost speed on all pieces, is he maybe lowering time to kill? Because that sounds like Hotfix 69 to me. But there were differences between the gear and Hotfix 69 and now. Now everything is mega. Like, people are gonna die a lot faster now with having this insane gear. Like, imagine having 21 true physical damage. Oh my goodness. Imagine running Demon's Glee and having extra true magic. You get that additional additional 2 true magic damage under Manosphere, and then you can get a true magic piece on the headpiece. Like, there were so many updates and so many hotfixes to adjust the knobs on the gear. And they got it to like a pretty decent spot, I would say, a pretty decent place. And then now they just reverted everything. It's completely unhinged, man. Like, I wish they would like kind of communicate with people more on this game, like both people who actually play their game. I wish they would come in and say, hey, what do you guys think if we did this?
I don't understand why they don't communicate with streamers, like especially like the big streamers, like, you know, like Repose, Jay, like PARTYCHIP, Yami, like all of those people that always have like a ton of viewers. They're like, you could just bring them that, like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Like, can you guys like run this by your communities, see like what they think, like, you know, just get like a feel for like what people like want, like would they like this?
All right, up next we have the Kidney Pounder. Now he's gonna bring up some points about trios and duos, mainly about bossing, how you can't boss right now. And I know there's a lot of people who have been really complaining about that. You know, they just can't boss. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow down the game a little bit. They're trying to slow everything down, retain the player base. That's why I think they mentioned that they're going to be having like end of wipe quests that might roll into like the next wipe. And that's why they're having a PvE mode, because they're trying to bring people in. They're trying to sustain people to play their game. And they're also trying to keep people at the end of the game, which is why they're probably going to have some quests. And which is why that they're not letting anybody boss right now. So take a listen to what Kidney has to say. He brings up some of the gear stuff too and RMT, and but mostly it's about bossing.
Dude, lore, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This shit is fucking boring, brother. By boring, like, you can't fucking boss unless, like, in trios, you can't boss unless you go Wyvern. One of those things where it's like, I want to get the best gear as fast as possible and accumulate net worth. I'm time gated and I can't fucking boss. I can't do Ghost King. I can't do Lich. I can't do Warlord. Now, I didn't think gear gapping was that bad back then, because there was like, you can outplay. But like now, I think the gear gapping is actually going to be like elite level, like gear gap.
It's gonna be really bad if they keep it as it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you can roll 4 all, and you can get like a unique frost aim with 4 all.
I'm pretty sure you can roll up to 10% move speed bonus. Pretty much like all the unique level gear is going to be like insane. Like, you probably only realistically need like 2 or 3 points of like unique gear, and you could just like destroy everybody. And with like the so many +4 all attributes, buff ball is gonna come back, and it's gonna actually like just win. Like, that's gonna be the meta in trios, is buff ball. The level of RMTing is gonna be so broken. Last fight, there's so many gamblers and RMTers that you could fight, but like, although they're bad, like, you can beat them and shit like that, or like it's like really hard because they have gear, like crazy gear. But like now it's gonna be like next to like impossible with the level of gear that they're gonna have, because there's no bosses right now, right? The people who actually grind in the dungeon right now, it like legit means nothing, and I want to say it means nothing because, right, the second that trade opens, like, they're going to have the most insane showdown ever.
Yep, you have that right. People are going to be RMTing out the freaking wazoo, man. This is going to be the craziest freaking RMT we've ever seen in our lives. I mean, if you're trying to bring people to your game, well, now when newer players are going to try the high roller mode, they're just going to get stomped on people with freaking like 30 all and 60,000 true damage, man. I don't know what they want to do. I mean, this is what Jake Griffey had to say.
First impressions. It's a wipe. Really don't have anything like great to say, which I think is a shame. Wish I did. The market will be crazy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. I would much rather the market be like a lot more reasonable. That way you can just play the game and do what you want and not have to spend $1 billion gold for anything remotely good.
He brings up a great point. Well, number one, he said, it's a wipe. You know, there's no new content. That's what he's really trying to say. He's not excited about it, you know? He just wishes that, like, you don't have to play the game with such a market-intensive strategy. Like, you gotta spend a lot of gold if you want to play High Roller, because everybody is gonna be running insane gear. So I guess that's the reason that there's such a separation between all these game modes, is if you want to go intense mode, you're gonna have this new High Roller, then you're gonna have High Roller Plus. So they're trying to separate everything so that they can appeal to a larger audience. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I mean, there's not enough people to play this game anyway. I mean, what? On the start of wipe, the day of wipe, there was like 13k in the dungeon and like 8k in the marketplace. That's not that many people. Also, they haven't really been advertising their game, but I don't know if separating all these queues and having different game modes is a good idea. Plus arena on the weekends. So I mean, we're probably going to be finding a lot more dead lobbies, especially the higher up you go. Because I mean, they even mentioned, the developers themselves even said that a majority of their player base is in norms. Like 50% plus is in norms. That's kind of crazy. We'll see how it goes, man. Check out what Majora has to say about this, though.
First impressions on wipe. I kind of did just talk about this, but after 19 hours, I can say I officially do not like the rolls. I feel like it makes a lot of the loot garbage, and I was excited for crafting to be an SSF, but they completely obliterated crafting. So that's a huge bummer. It's really stupid that Bard hit another accidental nerf, well, accidental but on purpose, with the rapier buff to where Rondell is just the best Bard weapon to use, and also just the most cringe and boring weapon to use. They also made it to where you can't roll dex on any vigor pieces, which is all of Bard's pieces, and the only way they've made Bard able to play is with healthy and action speed. That's literally the only thing they've done. That's the only thing I have. And now I can't roll dex on any of the pieces that are around. The fact that you can't spawn bosses is utterly fucking ridiculous, by the way, on their like quote unquote PvE wipe. Don't like Fog of War still being a thing. SSF is fun. SSF is cool. SSF is a great idea, but classic Iron Mace fashion, I feel like they set out on a mission to ruin SSF. And at the end of the day, like the rolls are like the crazy rolls, the uniques are cool, and like you can get crazy rolls and shit. The rolls generally right now in the SSF fashion feel like shit. They do not feel good at all. There's so many dead rolls. Those are the first impressions. Anyways.
And last but not least, this is what Yami had to say.
What's up,
What's up, lore?
Damn,
Yo.
Yami, yo, you looking good.
Any honest first impression on wipe?
We're reviving it though.
I think wipe is.
Bro, so what happened?
It's
What?
okay.
All right, guys, that's about all I have for you today. I mean, if you want my opinion on it, I think they needed more content. And of course, the reason why they couldn't do that was mainly because of the lawsuit. They were very, very busy. 3-4 months, no new content aside from, you know, maybe a couple of new mobs and maybe a new sub bosses and stuff like that. I mean, solo SSF, they had solo SSF as a form of content. They had PvE mode as a form of content or a way to bring people in. I think one of their major goals is to expand the game to a larger audience, and I'm not entirely sure if that's healthy for the game or not. I just hope they don't go too far off of their original vision, which is the hardcore PvPvE looter extraction game. You know, they're kind of toning it down with like adventure mode and stuff like that, and just splitting up queues too much. It does feel like it's lost its original vision from the time that they have created the game until now. Like, the game just feels like it's on steroids. Well, it's gonna feel like that even more when the market opens up, believe me. But the constant back and forth on the gear changes is confusing me as to what they truly want to do for their game. Hopefully there's some clarity the longer that the wipe goes on. Hopefully the game doesn't die, and if it does, well, so be it. I'm excited for Sand. Anybody else excited for Sand? I'm excited for Sand. Looter extraction game. They delayed their game, which is a good sign. Sand delaying their game is the best thing they could have possibly done, because they truly know that their game is not ready to be put out there in the public. So anytime a company delays their game, you and I both know that they are trying to work on it and make it better. Because if they did release it, it's just gonna be a Cyberpunk release. It's gonna be terrible. Or it's gonna, you don't want to pull off a No Man's Sky or something like that. For example, Darker was good enough to release, but a game like Sand, I got a lot of opinions on, you know, from other streamers. They were telling me that Sand was just not ready at all. And I'm glad that the devs realized that, because now they're going to spend more time on it. And I think the community and just the gamer community in general just appreciates that. The game will just be more outstanding when it does come out. And so I'm excited for that game. I still love Darker. Pretty much what everybody said, I really do agree with it. I don't really like the gear changes, but I mean, you guys know me. I'm a PvP guy. So you know I'm going to be coming out with like insane builds, like 3000 move speed build, like 28 true damage build. I don't know, something like that. You probably can't reach that number, but I mean with Demon's Glee you might be able to. You guys know I'm going to be coming out with like insane build videos, you know. So all I'm going to be doing is farming GC bosses until I'm rich, stack up some pelts, stack up them spider soaks. Everybody knows you're going to need some space for those bags. I'm not really a Crypts enjoyer or a Frost Mountain enjoyer, not too much at least. So I'm mainly going to be just like PvPing and just farming GC bosses. I'll probably end up learning Ghost King. Let me know if you guys want to see a SSF tier list, because I'm currently making one, and although I haven't played Bard and Sorcerer, I have secondhand experience fighting those classes. I've played every other class pretty in depth. Leave a like, hit subscribe. I'll be live on Twitch for the drops if anybody wants to join in. And I wish the developers the best, and I hope they continue to make good decisions, and I hope their game goes far. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the dungeon.